DoorDash just announced a pay change to their pay model for you as a DoorDash Dasher. And I wanted to bring this to your attention because I just noticed this just a couple of days ago, Wednesday of this week, 2 days ago. And I want to go over what this affects because this actually affects your earnings as a Dasher. We're going to go over what's changing here. And I need to ask you, let me know in the comments or the live chat, is this affecting your marketplace? So definitely let me know here. And it looks like, again, welcome to the training today, the video, and I see you in the live chat right now, commenting that, yeah, it may be in your marketplace. We're gonna go over, again, what's changing here on this new update. So if this is the first time that you and I are meeting, my name is Mike, and I help you make money in the gig economy. If it's a side hustle, if it's a full-time hustle, just making money and creating multiple revenue streams. If you are new here, definitely consider subscribing so you can be really the first to know when news like this drops. So urgently, let's take a look at the DoorDash pay model in general. If you didn't know, this is how you're paid as a DoorDash Dasher. It comprises of a few things. One of these things is changing as of today, really as of Wednesday. This just happened, folks. I saw this info in the notifications tab. If you're wondering where to see this, go into your Dasher app, click on the top left in the notifications, in the messaging center, I guess we'll call it. And in there, I got this announcement. We're going to be going over what's exactly changing. And I see you in the live chat. Charlotte, Thomas, Lisa, Brian, Maria, appreciate you all being here. So this is the Dasher pay model. It is simply put, it's base pay plus promotions plus tips equals your total earnings. And we can see here, just the base pay. It is based around time, distance, and a Dasher desirability. That's what I want to focus on today because, folks, what's changing? It is your base pay. Part of this equation, this is directly from DoorDash. If you're just joining us, a update to Dasher pay we're seeing affecting several marketplaces. We're seeing it here in Pittsburgh. And again, let me know in the live chat so other Dashers, other drivers can know in the comments, in the live chat, did you get notification? Again, look in your notification center. Your base pay may be changing. Again, we're going to be going over exactly what's changing today. So the equation of how you're paid, time, distance, and desirability. Time, you're paid for a marginal amount. It's not a ton, right? A marginal amount for how much time is that dash going to take, the assignment, the specific order, right? Number two, the distance. So we're paid, again, at nominal rates for mileage that you're driving. It's a per mile rate. And then number three, the Dasher desirability. So if you don't want it for whatever reason, and the next Dasher doesn't want it, typically over time, DoorDash is going to increase that base pay. That is their contribution. DoorDash's contribution is base pay. So if you don't want it, if someone else doesn't want it, if Dashers keep passing on it, that's what desirability is, and that can increase the base pay. So you're here to find out exactly what's changing on base pay. Because again, if you're just jumping in here, base pay is changing. We're seeing it in several marketplaces right now. It was announced on Wednesday. So this is directly from DoorDash, folks. This pay model and this definition is directly from DoorDash. So their pay policy reads, base pay is DoorDash's base contribution for each order. This will range from $2 to $10 plus, depending on the estimated time, the distance, like we talked about, and the desirability of the order. Deliveries that require Dashers to travel a longer distance that are not expected to take more time and that are expected to take more time, and that are less popular with the Dashers will have a higher base pay, kind of just what I detailed with you there. Base pay will not change based on the customer tip amount. That was a big sticking point for DoorDash in years past. Getting into some hot water, really using tips to fund your base pay. Don't worry, that is no more. That controversy, again, that was around 2019, I believe. So your tips, you receive 100% of that, and that is separate from DoorDash's contribution. So let's get into it. What's changing base pay? This is the update here from Wednesday, folks, of this week. This is fresh data, a fresh announcement here directly from DoorDash. Again, if you're trying to follow this with me here, if you go into your Dasher app and you click on the top left, the bell icon, that is your update tab, you can go in there and see for yourself if you have this. And you'll see it'll be titled Updates to How You Earn. So let's go over this. This is what's changing here, folks. And it reads, we believe every order should be worth your time. But up to this point, you are paid similarly for both long distance orders and shorter trips. To make these longer deliveries more worthwhile, we're making an adjustment so you get paid more for longer trips. So what's changing? And I believe, I thought we blew that up for you, but we'll just continue here. I know it's small. Follow with me here. What's changing? When you dash starting today, again, this is announced on Wednesday, you may now earn 10 to 30% more in base pay on long distance deliveries. For shorter distance dashes, that are quicker to complete, you may now see a DoorDash base pay offer, remember that we just detailed, of $2.25 for single order trips. Hang with me, there's a lot more that goes into this, folks. Definitely drop a like if you appreciate getting this info first. This amount is always separate from your customer tips, like we detailed, which will remain 100% yours. You can also earn more with challenges and other incentives, which are here to stay. So how will this affect my earnings? On average, Dashers in your region, and again, let me know in the please so other drivers can know this here, in the live chat or the comment section, it says Dashers in your region will make the same earnings per hour on delivery as before. We're going to debate that here today. Your individual earnings may change based on how many long and short distance orders you complete. Below it is an example. That is pretty big. Let me repeat that. Your individual earnings may change based on how many long and short delivery orders you complete. And below, again, is an example. So let me show you these examples here. So here is what DoorDash is giving us as far as an example of what's changing. So their announcement continues with two examples to help us illustrate what's changing here. Folks, if you're just joining, DoorDash announced an adjusted pay model for you on Wednesday. That was July 14th, 2021. Just a couple of days ago. It's here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Let me know if it's in your marketplace as well. Phoenix, Maria, I see you in here and I see you in the live chat. Brand commenting Tulsa, Oklahoma. Skingley in Florida commenting the same thing. Montana, Edwin. Lincoln, Oklahoma City. Thomas, Wisconsin. Ellen in Vegas. We're seeing this in a lot of marketplaces. I'm going to go over here, folks, how this is going to affect your bottom line, because it will. So example number one from DoorDash, delivery number one, the longer delivery. This delivery is 7 miles. It's going to take 24 minutes. The new base pay is now $4.50. Remember, DoorDash told us that your base pay is going to increase 10 to 30%. So here it used to be $3.50. Now it is $4.50. And in this example, the customer tipped $5, right? That's arbitrary, whatever the customer tipped, $5, let's say. So this longer delivery, instead of being $8.50, it is now $9.50. Now, folks, hang with me here. Let's do the math on this, actually, since we're going over the numbers here. So I'm going to pull up my calculator here. So we got what? We got 24 minutes here for $9.50 for how many miles? 7 miles, right? 7 miles. So you're getting paid $136 per mile. Decent, it's not stellar. My goal for you is $175 per mile. Now let's look at the dollars to time ratio. How much am I getting paid for how much time is this going to take, right? So it's now $9.50 and it's 24 minutes, right? So you say what? I don't know, $9.50, you take that, multiply by 2. Let's just round that up to like a 30-minute trip, right? That'd be $19 an hour. If you get another trip, that's basically immediate, kind of with the same metrics, right? Okay, I get it. This is incentivizing longer trips. You're getting $1 more on this trip. That is now paying, what was it, $136 per mile, and that is up from $121 per mile. So if this was you, let me know. If this was you, would you take this trip at $9.50 compared to $8.50? Would you take this trip? Let us know in the live chat or the comment section. I'm going to answer this here myself. That was $121 per mile. That is now, what is it, $136 per mile. But it's 24 minutes. It's 7 miles. 7 miles. It's not too far. We're getting an extra $1. I see no. I see I would not. I see not for 7 miles. No. I do see one yes in there. I still see more no's. Krista. I do see a lot of no's in there. Okay, folks, this is example number 1. So for me, it comes down to what we just described. It's the basics of driving food delivery. Number 1, the dollars to mile ratio. How much am I getting paid for the miles driven? At the best, at this new pay structure, it would be $136 per mile. What is your goal for this year? It's $175 per mile, right? Okay, well, that's decent. What about the dollars to time ratio? So we calculated, if I get another one here, then it's $19 an hour. What is your goal for this year? It's $25 an hour. And even if you hit, a floor of $20 an hour, that's still a little bit under that. And then the intangibles. What about positioning? 7 miles, it's not super long. That could be long for certain marketplaces. That could be a short trip for certain marketplaces. Again, those are kind of the, secondary factors. The first factor, at least that I would consider, I'm seeing you in the live chat here, a lot of no's, that, I wouldn't take it. I appreciate the extra $1, but it comes down to business efficiency. It's still paying $1.36. Now, I literally always trying to bring you both sides of the coin here. I try to keep it professional for you, and see both sides here. So this, and we're going to get into example number 2, folks. There's another example after this one from DoorDash. So I wouldn't necessarily write off this pay adjustment until you look at the trend analysis of your earnings per hour. Because frankly, you can tweak algorithms, apps, companies. You guys can tweak the algorithm. That's all we care about, right? How much am I making per hour? You can do all the bells and whistles, man. You can give me a little smiley sticker. Actually, literally, Uber gave smiley sticker. Well, not literally, but they give you rider compliments, right? If you do Uber Eats, they give you driver compliments. Hey, he was on time. He had great communication, or she, right? Friendly. You're like, that's great, dude, but I only care about the earnings per hour. Okay, you get it. Next example. So, folks, this is directly from DoorDash, announced on Wednesday. This is a pay update. And please let me know if you're seeing this. We are seeing this in a lot of marketplaces from what I'm seeing from you. Here's example number 2. This is big. Lean in for this. You saw it on the thumbnail, kinda. I mocked it up for you on the thumbnail. This is directly from DoorDash. Example number 2, the shorter delivery. This example is 3 miles. It's only going to take 15 minutes. But as we saw in the announcement, the pay is now $2.25, down from $3. The customer tipped $3.50. So now you would be paid $5.75 versus $6.50. I mean, I don't really have to say it, but I mean, go ahead. Let me know how you feel about that down below in the comments or the live chat. Because we're not playing around here. This is my money. This is your money here. So let's talk about what this means, what I would do, maybe what you want to do. Let me hear your thoughts right now in the live chat here of how to react to this. All right, let's bust out the calculator again here. And for someone that is awful at math, I need it, folks. So it's still a good dollars to mile. It is $1.92 per mile at the lower rates. $1.92 down from $2.17. $1.92 down from $17. All right, I got it. So $5.75 for 15 minutes. That is a 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a quarter of an hour. $5.75. Let's assume you could do 4 of those. And that'd be $23 an hour. $23 an hour down from what? So $6.50 times 4, down from $26 an hour. Folks, these are projections, but I hope you're following me. Drop a like if you're following me here on these calculations. So what I did is the new payout on this shorter order based on this new algorithm would pay $5.75, right? Down from $6.50. Assuming you could do 4 of these 15-minute orders in an hour, that's kind of, rare in my opinion. You could do 3, certainly. But hang with me, we'll assume you can do 4. So $5.75 times 4 of those, again, it's going to pay $23, down from $26. And then we already went over the dollars to mile ratio as well. What are your thoughts on that? So let me show you something else here. That is a shorter order example. So what DoorDash is doing is, if you've seen this, again, in the top left of your Dasher app, the bell icon, let me know if you've seen this or not. So at the bottom of this announcement, there'll be a link to a survey, and they're asking you how you feel about this thing, right? I'm going to summarize my thoughts on this because I know what they're going for. There's positives and negatives. Again, I'm going to give you my, as most objective opinion is like, well, I'm going to give you some opinion on, okay, but hang with me. So there's a survey here as well. All right. Makes sense. You got it. So here, I want to just show you the actual mock-up orders to help us visualize what this would actually look like. So check this out. So here's the mock-ups that you saw in the thumbnail. These aren't actual orders. Again, these are mock-ups. Okay. So on the left is the old pay model for short runs. On the right is the new pay model for short runs. This is the example that they just cited, okay? I'm just translating it into a mock-up order request screen. So on the left, again, this order was going to take 15 minutes. You can see it was 3 miles. And again, based on the new lower base pay, specifically on shorter orders, it goes from $6.50 to $5.75. I think that makes sense. So here are my thoughts on this. Here's how I would watch strategy going forward. Because again, this was just announced on Wednesday, 2 days ago at the time of filming this. And we're seeing it in a good amount of marketplaces. So here's what I'm seeing. First, let's go over the obvious. The obvious is DoorDash is incentivizing longer trips. Okay, we detailed that in the description of this video. It's very clear. They're trying to incentivize longer trips. Why? Because, for instance, if I'm here in Pittsburgh and I'm going to get an order that pulls me 15 minutes north to, kind of a rural area of Pittsburgh, there's not much up there, man. Literally, there's not much up. It's all, neighborhoods. And that's just Pittsburgh. Or if I was back in San Diego and I had an order that pulled me, let's say I drove a lot in La Jolla or Mission Valley, and let's say I was driving to Mission Valley and it pulled me 15 minutes west, more towards Pacific Beach, was in a different zone entirely. They're trying to have someone take those runs. So firstly, the negatives that I see, and let me know if you agree with this. So I see a comment there, more equals less, from Brett. I'm kind of echoing a lot of this, of what I'm seeing here. My strategy driving food delivery has always been drive as little miles as possible and try to get the highest paying orders. It's not rocket science, right? So that's the strategy. It is the highest paying orders with the smallest amount of driving miles. It makes sense. You're getting the most for usually, less miles usually means less time. And then what the obvious thing should be, but I don't think a lot of people really realize it, especially if you're new, is the wear and tear on your vehicle. That is an asset. That is your business asset. And for a lot of us, it's our personal asset. It's our car. It's our personal vehicle for most everybody. If you expensed, $1,000 fully depreciated vehicle, I get that. So what I'm going to be watching closely is the bottom line, because I'll just be straight up with you. I feel like, we always want to be frank here on the team. If you're not subscribed, definitely consider subscribing here so you can get news like this first, strategies, etc., on how to make money here. But I'm going to be watching that bottom line here, because this still it's not going to incentivize me to take longer trips. I'll tell you that right now. Getting paid an extra $1, 10 to 30%. Remember, 10 to 30% is the number that they gave us. I still got to come back. I still got to drive back to the busy zones, the hot spots, which is where you should be. Now, if I'm in a big marketplace, if I was back in San Diego, remember, this is DoorDash, folks. This is not Uber Eats, where I can drive anywhere. I got to drive in my scheduled zone, really now more than ever. Now, versus last year, they basically warn you to, hey, you got to get back in your zone. You're not going to get orders. So let me know your thoughts on this. Is this going to affect your driving? I assume it will. Let me know in the live chat or the comment section. I see conversations about the price of gas. Think about that. Hey, if I'm driving, if they want me to take these longer runs, even for more pay, folks, that's nice. It's nice to get more pay, that the dollars to mile is better. Flat out, I'm still, at least here in Pittsburgh, I would still be stuck in those rural, slower areas. And I can tell you this straight up, that if I get pulled 15 minutes away or so, Pittsburgh's not that big, man. I'm going to get pulled out of the zone anyway. I'm going to have to come back into the scheduled zone. Even in San Diego, I would have to watch that and get back into a busy zone here. So, I see your comments here. It means less people taking short orders. Flood the town with canceled orders or rejected orders. This is why, think for yourself. I'm just providing the report to you. I'm giving you a few insights here, of course, folks. I don't pretend to know better stuff or whatever, right? This is the team here. Use your own best judgment. But if you take away one thing from this video today, shorter orders most likely are going to be paying less on DoorDash now in Q3 of 2021. That DoorDash announced let's go back to it here. A base pay offer of $2.25 for shorter distance dashes orders. And a 10 to 30% increase on longer runs. Now, here's the thing with this. Actually, I did want to highlight this here as well. On average, dashers in your region will make the same earnings per hour on delivery as before. I've seen this before. I've seen similar pay adjustments in different niches. I've seen this in the rideshare space, that there's tweaks to, admittedly, hey, you'll make the same money, but we're changing something, but you're going to make the same money. Trust us. Does that mean you're going to have to squeeze in another order? That's my concern. Does it mean that, I mean, yeah, you can make the same money, but you may have to squeeze in another one of those shorter runs because you like doing those shorter runs? That's something to watch here, folks. So here's what we are going to be doing. There we go. Is I'm going to be watching this in the comment section. I'm going to be following your dialogue. But as we land the plane on the video today, here is the takeaway. Shorter deliveries, you can see new delivery total, 575, previously 650. Now, again, as the #1 rated food delivery app, rated by you, whenever I ask you, our community here, you know, what's the best app? It's always a DoorDash. As the #1 food delivery gig, as far as market share, it's a DoorDash. They have what, 52% of the food delivery space. Let me leave you with this. That when I have seen these changes, it can kind of go two ways. Now, this is me, speaking from my experience doing this since 2015, both as a part-time gig and as a full-time gig and in different marketplaces. Again, I'm not saying that, I know more than you. No, I mean, it's just my opinion, right? This is the team here. But let me speak from experience, if I can. That usually it goes two ways. That the response is swift and immediate from drivers. In the survey, that the company's like, we're losing, we just saw a marked decline in active drivers. We've seen that drivers kick this around for a little bit. And then again, look at your numbers, record your numbers. There's a free Excel and numbers sheet on your drivermike.com. It's free. You can download it and you can track your numbers, right? And follow your numbers to see if this is happening. I would create a different tab and I would label it, new pay model. And I would see, okay, what am I averaging? Because the sheet averages out your earnings. What am I averaging versus the old sheet? Now, keep in mind, there's seasonality trends. We're in summer season. Generally, there's a slowdown because of pandemic reopenings. So remember that, okay? Again, I want to give you both sides of the coin here. Don't just immediately label it as, hey, new pay model, I'm quitting, all right? Consider everything else that's going on here. That may be a reason for lower earnings if you're seeing lower earnings, right? So that's #1. #2, which I would hope to be less common, is the companies make a marked change, a lasting and marked change, going down a different path with their pay model indefinitely. That was like rideshare. In 2016, 2017, when Uber and Lyft markedly changed their surge and then the prime time, I think they called it on Lyft, bonuses. And they never really reverted back to those 2016, 2017 rates. I get it. The companies need to make money. There needs to be the balance, and this is just me speaking from trying to have an objective look on this. There has to be an equilibrium in the gig economy because the companies need you, but they also need to make money. And then they also need end users. It all needs to work. That's always been the challenge with the gig economy. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. We'll be watching this closely. If there's any changes, I'm going to be in the comments section as well, answering your questions if I can. And again, this was just announced Wednesday, just a couple of days ago. So do let us know if this is affecting your marketplace. And I do appreciate you being here. And if you're not a team member, again, definitely consider subscribing here. I'll see you down in the comment section. If you did get value in this video, definitely drop me a like. And you can also click or tap screen here for my newest video, as well as a video recommended for you. And I'll see you in the next one.